GPS on the car, so hopefully it doesn't fuck up my fucking shit video. And this, anyways, what's going on? So I do the microcosmic orbit pretty religiously. I'm just gonna get into it. I'm not gonna fuck around and talk shit, a bunch of shit, just tell you what's going on with my life and all that. Like, who the fuck cares? But so I do the microcosmic orbit pretty religiously, and I had it on a playlist. With a few other, two other hypnosis. One was, I don't know, I forget what they were exactly, connecting to something or moving something. Don't really know. Don't really matter. But so I gotta get over the next lane. But my fucking truck is going off. But yeah, so I go there the one day, and both videos are set to private, but not by me, by whoever, I guess, created it. Either Meditative Mind or one of those other, is this one? Yeah, it's this one. Or one of those other fucking things that make shit like that. Like, hypnosis and all that. But anyways, so when I first started doing the microcosmic orbit after Qigong and Kunji. Qigong and Kunji in. That's why I started doing the microcosmic orbit, but I had a hard time. Not a hard time per se, but like, I don't know. It was complicated enough whenever, because I was doing ceremonial magic and I was doing, okay, so wifey cut me off because I called her and then she called me back. But anyways, where the fuck was I? Doesn't matter. So this, so you can hear me better. I was saying something to the effect of the microcosmic orbit I do religiously, but when I first read Qigong and Kunjian and I wanted to start doing the microcosmic orbit using my lower and eventually using my the upper one and everything else that comes along with this great energy practice. The reason, and just I'm pretty sure most people who watch me for any length of time, the ones that watch me from the beginning maybe, know that I wanted to do the microcosmic orbit because I was at the point in ceremonial magic where I was ready to create thought forms, servitors. And after watching High Percentage Magic, he said you can use the middle pillar to conjure up enough energy to create a thought form. He's like, but in his experience, the best way is to use the microcosmic orbit. And I've used many different things I've learned from him, and he hadn't let me down yet, so I decided to do that. And I know Frederick Xavier does it his way, and I actually have programmed thought forms and servitors or thought forms and whatever it is from him, just to make sure, not that I ever needed it, but I went on a little frenzy, to be honest, whenever I bought the first program from Frederick, and I heard how similar the things me and him were doing, which is slight differences, and then he actually gives like older spells, I guess, and rituals and different things for manifesting money and other manifestations that you need, and to banish different things. And those things alone, when I did them, were worth the money of the program. Different things from the magical checkbook, the soap ritual, like the way he uses blood in ritual versus the way I do it. But the same concept, and it works just as much, it's basically the same. But anyways, all that's to say is the reason I wanted to learn the microcosmic orbit was not only, I had that book, and that book was amazing, but I don't know if I had that first or I got that when I wanted to figure out how to do the microcosmic orbit, because listening to, I can't remember the guy's name, but you put microcosmic orbit in, he's one of those Chinese guys sitting down, it's older videos, he's really good to listen to, and he knows his shit. He's the one, I think, who wrote those books I'm talking about, plus many other occult Taoist, I'd say, but I'm not positive, books. Sex books, not necessarily about sex itself, but how to use sexual energy properly. Anyways, all that's to say is the microcosmic orbit, when I found this meditation, this visualization going along with being visualized, it really helped. It really helped me to have a guideline instead of just reading the book and trying to visualize it on my own. Going to the words and it kind of like moving through it. And like I said, this is one of those meditations that I follow along with meditations online many times, and I know the difference after learning about NLP and hypnosis and a little bit of I wouldn't say manipulation, I manipulate people, but the art of persuasion, let's just say, that, you know, if you want to do successful kind of hypnosis, even on yourself, which is what I do a lot of, you gotta, or on other people, you gotta allow their mind to come up with the details itself, so it's personalized to them. You just guide them. And I've said this many times, and that was important for me on this. It was very clear that when we tell you how to visualize in a manner of speaking, like what you're supposed to see, but then from there it wouldn't tell you exactly like this color, this direction. I left that up to you, so that the minute you started visualizing, whenever you got to the point where you really started seeing it, it did. If your visualization was different from what it was saying, it would fuck you up. You know what I mean? So it was one of those really good ones. Anyways, I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe more, that I realized they were all taken off my fucking off my playlist, and I can't find it anywhere on YouTube anymore. So I was a little pissed off about that. Now, that being said, I have a little voice recorder that I use for my self-hypnosis and reprogramming my mind. Like honestly, that's what I do. It's a little recorder that, you know, I can plug a mic into it, plug headphones into it. It holds a ton of data, and it can play on repeat. So when I want to self-hypnotize myself with my own voice, when I started doing rituals and visualizing in my head, before I learned the ritual by heart, I would literally record myself doing the whole ritual on that, like that close by. This way not to have my phone in my temple. And it would literally, I would put that on at night. I would start doing the ritual in my head, going along to me actually doing the ritual like in audio real time, I guess would be a way to say it. Fucked up way to say it. So it helped me for many things. So I had the same process. So I ended up one day recording the microcosmic orbit playing on there with me saying some self-hypnosis, maybe even call affirmations, repeating the specific things I wanted to manifest, which I had manifested. So I had that version of it, but it's me talking over it, you know what I mean? So I couldn't really separate it. But then I remembered, I'm like, no man, I made an episode not that long ago about me playing the microcosmic orbit. So it took me a while to find it. I think it was in the title, but it was Peterson was also in there. Anyway, so I ended up finding it and I ended up recording it. And I recorded, it's me playing it out loud, so you don't have the background music, but you have the clear instructions in it. But I also put a part before that to explain why, how, and what the microcosmic orbit does, the importance of the tongue, what happens prior. What happens prior to the energy, because what happens is it comes up from the back channel, right? So let's say I assume it starts from either your feet or your root, right? It comes up through the back, goes inside your mouth, comes down, goes back out your mouth, and then finishes it in this weird kind of yin-yang symbol, right? And it never completes the full circuit. And we know we're electrical. That's what I've been going on about, motions, but we have electricity running through our body. We have to have a high pH in your body. So what happens here is when you connect that, you end up connecting a full fucking circuit, a full fucking circle, which promotes healing. The guy says it helps your organs get the electricity they need, you know. So, and I mean, among other things, you can use this, like I said, to conjure up enough energy to create a thought form or a servitor. So I re-recorded it so that I can use it, and I'm going to put it here on my channel. This is going to be the first video. This is going to be the first part of the video. After this part, it's going to be that guy explaining it with a diagram and saying exactly what all the, I think it's 14 energy centers are what meridians are attached to, like the ones in the back right. You have perineum, which is the bottom one, which would be your root. Then you have the sexual center, which is, you know, that sexual chakra, if you will. Then it's the Danantion, and then from there it goes up to, I think it's, well, I forget which vertebrae it is, T7 maybe, and then T5, and then C3, which is your anyways. And then it goes to the crown, then it's the third eye, then your tongue has to connect, energy goes there, then it goes to your throat, then it goes to your heart, then it goes to your solar plexus, and back to the Danantion. So, all that. So you're going to see this part first, obviously. Then after me, it's going to be that dude explaining all that. Then it's going to be the microcosmic orbit. So once the microcosmic orbit thing plays, somewhere around the 13-minute mark is normally what I fast forward it to, because that's where it starts talking about the Danantion and visualization you need. And the rest of the stuff before that is just to get you into hypnosis. Alright, so right before I get to playing microcosmic orbit, or the man explaining it first before the actual playing it, like I said, it's not going to be at the 13-minute mark, but 13 minutes after it starts is roughly where you can start it. After, you know, if you have trouble getting into visualization and all that, I'd say listen from the beginning. But if you don't, if you can start visualizing your Danantion, energy flowing through there, you can pick the color, you can pick the way it's turning, it doesn't matter. I generally, if I visualize and there's not something that automatically comes in my head, like let's say today, I'm doing it right now, it's white. But let's say I didn't have the white energy there right now, I would just go with, depending, like you want to be careful when you do in red with Mars, because colors are powerful and you can invoke some pretty strong things with Mars energy. But generally that's my rule of thumb, except for maybe black and red for Saturn and Mars. But I'm going to put this into the same healing magic playlist as I've been putting all the healing magic stuff. And I mean, if you're doing a witchcraft, you're doing ceremonial magic, I would say you can totally add this on. It's definitely a good add-on to have with your already practice. Now, I don't want you to start doing the microcosmic orbit and stop doing any curriculum that you're already doing. So if you have to choose between this and whatever you're already doing, keep doing whatever you're already doing. If you're not doing anything, start doing this. This is great energy work, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna, you know, whether you're just okay and you're gonna try this, or you're having a bad day, or you're in, you know, this takes me out of fight or flight, if I can tell I'm in it. This takes me out of bad moods. This takes me out of low energy. This takes me out of so many bad states once I'm done. And I put a circle up when I do it. Anytime you're doing anything with visualizing energy work, just to me, rule of thumb, you know, put a protective circle around you, just in case, you know, you don't want things to happen. Now, if you're doing it fast, there's people around you and you're just trying to bang it out, but there's a good chance your kids are going to bug you, but you don't want to really step outside of the circle too often. So, I mean, you don't have to, just what I do. I like to keep my spiritual practices, my energy practices all within the circle, my being, my aura, my field, my sphere, you know. It's not really that circle you put on the ground is not necessarily a circle, it's more like a globe. It's like a big sphere around you, and it protects you from any outside influences that could come in and fuck up what you're doing. But this is definitely a practice that can be used for healing your body. It's a way of using the energy that's already coming in. Now, just to elaborate a little bit on what this is about to explain to you anyways, the energy comes up your back from the bottom, and it comes in your mouth, goes down on the inside, comes back up, goes back around your body, and then it comes up the front, goes back inside, and then comes back up, and comes back around. Okay, so that's what's happening until you do the microcosmic orbit. So you're never going right around in a nice circuit. Okay, you come up and around, it goes down, and then it goes back the same way it just came. And then it comes up the front, and then it comes down, and it comes back the way it came. You got like these two incoming energies that are never complete. You never hit all the meridians all at once. But by doing this, by having your tongue, the roof of your mouth, connecting that circuit, I'm telling you, you could feel a little bit of, it's not like a zap, like when you lick a battery or anything like that, but it's a different kind of tingle. There's some energy, there's electricity there when you do that. And what happens is, it comes at the back, comes around the front, And you can switch this if you want to, go the other way if you want, but you've got to do this way first if you're going to do that. But then you have this circuit, and it's simultaneously hitting all of these meridian points, okay? That is thoracic, number 7, thoracic, number 5, vertebrae, and the cerebral vertebrae thing, or the ones in the back here. But it's all these important meridians. Some of them are acupuncture points, but some of them are also known as what people think are the chakras or whatever the case is. All that doesn't even matter. You visualize these, and it's like, what do I have to visualize them as? Whatever the fuck you want. There's no right or wrong answer here. You can look at a little swirling pool of vortex. You can make it look like the old version of Adam. You can make it like a fucking happy face. It doesn't matter, okay? I tend to look at it like something like this, turning sideways, but, you know, more 3D than that. Or going the opposite way, or going around like this, and you know, how do I bring the energy up? Well, I just visualize it down at the lowest part, and then it spirals up to that next one, making a link. So, making a link. So it's linked now, and then it goes up to the next one, and they're always linked. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to do that. You can just look at it as a fucking straight line, and then once it's all connected, you visualize it always going. Like that's what I like about the recording, the audio recording, because it goes through it, and it does it so many times over and over and over again that it really helps input that programming into you, to the point now that I'm pretty positive that the microcosmic orbit happens for me regardless. This thing going around me regardless. The minute I put my tongue up there, I'm connected. I don't even have to. I still do the visualization so that it's definitely embedded in me. But I've been doing this for at least, it's got to be at least 6 months since, like, I think it's even been before June, but June or July consecutively, every single day almost, up until these last 2 weeks, without the audio for me to go to bed to and all that. And like I said, sometimes I just put it on at night and go to sleep, but it's still being heard by the subconscious mind. It's still going in there, which is one of the best ways to do it. So if you don't want to do this consciously, take up your time, put it on when you go to sleep for every night for 21 days. Don't stop doing it. But once again, if you have a practice already, do your practice energy. The middle pillar, there's nothing wrong with that. You can channel that energy. It's very similar because after you get that energy and you're supposed to swirl it around your body, up and down, like where your pillars would be. Sorry about that. Yeah, so you're supposed to swirl that around like where the pillars would be, and you're seeing this come from the sky. Now I like doing both of these. I think I said this in a previous video, but I used to do this. I used to put the microcosmic orbit on and just let the whole thing play. But while it was getting to that 13-minute mark, I was able to do my whole elemental grade. So that means I start off Kabbalistic cross, call the watchers to my circle, the elements and the elementals. And then I would, that's after making the circle, and then I'd fucking do the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, the middle pillar, the greater ritual of the hexagram, watchtower, and then lesser banishing of the pentagram once again, whatever magic I wanted to do, and then send away the fucking elements, elementals, Kabbalistic cross, and then I wouldn't close my circle yet, but I would, you know, at that point it would be only, not every time, sometimes it would already be started. For the most part, I could get that all knocked out, in my head visualized, all done, me at my altar, before the microcosmic orbit happens. So it's almost like I channel this energy down, microcosmic orbit, into my body, not storing it in my Danansian, but store that external energy. And now this is the natural energy we have that's always around us. Now where it comes from, I don't know. Is it part of prana? What's that magical substance that's in the air we breathe? I don't know. What I do know is once you start doing this, you're gonna notice it. You know, like I can work all day and have the most energy out of everybody, and I'm actually like the oldest guy on the site most of the time. Even my boss is only like 27 years old, and I stand on my feet all day. You know, I just worked 10 hours, drove an hour there in the morning, drove an hour back, so it's 12 hours. I'm doing this every single day outside in the cold. Today wasn't too bad, but we had minus 20 days, and I'm fine. I got the energy. I mean, I'm not gonna say like I can run a marathon right now, but I've got tons of energy. And it's because I know how to utilize the energy that's already here. That somehow someone realized these meridian points, there's energy flowing through it. read the books and you'll come to real. I'm not going to explain that right now because it's like it would be a lot of conjecture and me filling blanks and not really knowing how they came up with that. But from what I read, I can kind of speculate on it. But the point is, this energy is flowing around you, and even for the people that don't know this, it's going into their mouth and then back the same way it just came, and then it comes back around. It's trying to connect that circuit, right? It's trying to connect the circuit. First it tries to do it this way, which would be counterclockwise. Yeah, it tries to go counterclockwise, kind of like the way the sun and the moon go. No, they go clockwise, I guess. I don't know, anyways. And then once it can't do that, it comes back down and it goes back up. It's not going to go up and back down. It's this energy. It's flowing one way. It comes around. Try to connect to these points. Gets trapped in your mouth. Comes back down. It goes back the same way it just came. Comes up. Comes down in. Goes back the same way it came. Like the yin yang. This is why people are, good and bad. Whatever you want. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into that. But by connecting that and then visualizing it and using your conscious mind, if you will, but you're kind of like in a relaxed state. So you're more in a trance almost. That's the whole point of the visualizations or the meditation state that hypnosis gets you into. Puts you in a trance state. So you're using your conscious mind, but in like a subconscious trance way. And that's what you're doing. That's one of the main things you do as a magician, is to practice putting your consciousness to an otherwise unconscious state, so that if we do die and it's the unconscious or the soul and we have to navigate that thing, well, if it's like a dream is you're unconscious, you can't control it, things just happen to you. Well, I can take control of my dreams now, not for very long, but I can. And it's because I practice. Everything happens with practice. So if when I die, my soul has to go somewhere. And this is why souls get reincarnated, because they can't navigate. Well, if I know how to navigate, then maybe there's somewhere else I can navigate to. I mean, these are unanswered questions and they'll never be answered. But nonetheless, people have been magicians, ceremonial magic. This is one of the main focuses of that. Is if that's what happens, well, we're going to know what to do. Not only that, if you can take control of your dreams and do the astral travels, and astral travel is like the highest one, but lucid dream, and then what's the other one? Outer body experience, and then lucid dream. You can do these things, and then you work your way up. You know what I mean? And this is kind of what you're practicing for. But nonetheless, it's kind of like that state. This is one of those things that are going to help you be able to do those things. And not only that, is you're going to know how to control that energy around your body. And you can see this energy when you're in dreams and stuff like that. Like if you're looking for it, I want to take control of my dream. I've only been able to do it a few times where you can actually do a ritual. Like, fuck it, I'm going to do a ritual. And when you do it, it's powerful. And you see the energy, because all this shit I do consciously gets into my subconscious mind. That's the point, ritual magic. Symbolic language to speak to my subconscious. All the garb, all the fucking the candles, the incense, the fucking wands, the fucking athames, all the little sigils, the pillars, everything. That's the language to speak to my subconscious mind. Someone figured that out a long time ago. So that's what I do. When you're in a dream and you do that, my God, the subconscious mind is how you know you got it in your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind, my temple room is like a fucking cathedral. It's all my stuff. I go in my little room, it's like, boom, 2 big pillars, everything. It's just amazing. So, and then I see the energy. You know what I mean? When I actually do my circle, it's like, as soon as I do the Kabbalistic cross, I'm in the cosmos. I'm in space. I'm huge. That's what you're supposed to visualize. So I know I got it in my head. Not only that, when I do my pentagrams, it's like fucking brilliant. Blue, gold, light sometimes, depending. When I do the microcosmic orbital, when I do the middle pillar, it's like a big, such a bright light. I can't even explain it with the words I got coming through me. You know what I mean? I feel it, and I even see my feet on the earth somehow, even though I'm in space. Like, but my subconscious got it. It's in there. It's embedded in me, and now I have that link to get into my subconscious mind. This is why I can manifest things, because I have that direct link. I have that direct link to my subconscious mind, that reality maker, let's say, that controls my reality. Now, I don't control my reality, but I have now the language and the communication and the ability to put
an idea or a suggestion into my subconscious mind to play out. So it's like, hey, everything's going great, but I kind of need a little extra money just to cover some of these bills. Perfect, got it. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Oh, I kind of need to heal, blah, blah, blah. Got it. So all that's to say is, this is one of the things I did that really helped out. It really amplified it. So if you can do this in coordination with what you're already doing, great. But don't stop doing a practice and start this one, okay? Because that's not something I want to promote. Anyways, that's it for me for today. This is not going to be called, it might be called Healing Magic. I might do Healing Magic. I think the last one was number 3. I fucked up. I did 3 even though I never wrote a 2. So now this is 3. So this one might be 4, but it's just Microcosmic Orbit. Healing Magic Microcosmic Orbit 4 is what I'm going to title it. You already know what the title is because you clicked on it. But anyways, so all the Microcosmic Orbits, the last, I think it's like 28 or 32 minutes or something like that. It's going to be the Microcosmic Orbit. So going forward, you don't have to watch any more of this. If I figure out how to do the timestamp thing, I'll do it for you, and this way you can go right to it. I'll do the beginning Microcosmic Orbit, and at the 13-minute mark that I talk about, I'm going to try to do those 2 timestamps. But I might not be able to, and it might not be for a while. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have yourself a great fucking day.
The microcosmic orbit is what we're going to be talking about now. We start off with the concept of the human being. You may recognize this creature. It has feet, it has a nose, an eye, a mouth with a tongue, and it also has various energy channels, meridian lines that run through the whole thing. The 2 ones that we're interested in today, the one that runs up the back, this is called the governing vessel, or the dew meridian. It runs from the base of the being all the way up, and then it goes internally down through the front of the spine. And there, back at the base of the being, it flows into the red meridian, otherwise known as the conception vessel. And the red meridian flows up the front of the body to the root of the tongue, and then it goes internally and flows down inside the front of the spine. And there it flows into the meridian at the back. So drawing this in a more diagrammatic form, what you see is this. Up the back, internally, up the front, internally. So you've got this, it's almost like an infinity sign. And this is what's happening in the normal course of life, without us doing anything to change it, or to interfere with it, or to moderate it in any way. However, when we want to generate extra energy, we then use what's called the microcosmic orbit, or the small heavenly cycle. By connecting the tongue with the roof of the mouth, we cut out the middle flow. So what happens then is this. The energy that flows up through the back channel instead of going down the inside of the front, by the connection of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, it flows into the front channel. And it reverses the flow of chi, the energy in that channel. So instead of the front channel flowing up, it's now flowing down. And instead of going in this figure of 8, it's going in a circuit. And it's that circuit, that circulation, that orbit that's called the small heavenly cycle, and which we know as the microcosmic orbit. Now, as it flows through this orbit, it passes through a number of points, chakras, energy centers, points on the meridians, from the base through the sacrum, the door of life, T11, the 11th thoracic vertebrae, T5, the 5th, thoracic vertebrae up to C7, the 7th cervical vertebrae, up to the occiput, the J pillar, through the crown, the mid-eyebrow, and then down the front, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the navel, and the sexual center. Back down to the base of the being, the perineum. Now, these are not just little pinpoints in the energetic circuits of the body. They're great whirling vortexes of energy. And this begins the energy grid, the energy network, which feeds the meridians, which feeds the organs, which enables us to use the same amount of energy in a more efficient and more effective way for better health, a longer life.
I'd like for you to relax and examine the points along with the numbers 1 through 14. Follow the circuit that is being created by the points and numbers right now. Just seeing this diagram will help you during this exercise. Perhaps speaking aloud or with your inner voice, you can ask your unconscious mind to remember and recall this diagram at a later state for you. Now, let's begin. Please ensure that you are in a comfortable position so that you can relax and be most comfortable with your arms, hands, and legs uncrossed. And if your feet are on the floor, ensure that they are flat. And if at any stage you wish to emerge from hypnosis before the session comes to an end, all you need to do is count from 1 to 5 and open your eyes. You can either count out loud or to yourself. Each time on 5, you completely emerge from hypnosis. So right now, take a nice, slow, deep breath in. That's it. And gently hold it for a moment or two. And then, when you are ready, exhale slowly. And as you exhale, allow for your eyes to be comfortable. I'd like to remind you that you are. And as you take each breath, your eyes become heavier and sound heavier, as though there are weights on your eyelids. You respond, keeping that heavy, intended instructions even when you try to open them. And that's okay to you, because it takes you deeper. Notice that you do not have to into relaxation. For your just be aware of your breath. Be aware of the parts of your body that move as you breathe. Aware of the temperature of the air that you breathe. Each time feel each breath coursing through your body from your head to your toes. As your chest rises and falls, allow your subconscious mind to take over the rhythm of your breath, almost as if you're watching yourself breathing. As we continue, I'd like to ask your unconscious mind, which I know can imagine your breath going deeper and deeper now. For you. And when I say a deeper breath, I don't necessarily mean a bigger breath or a larger breath. It simply means a breath that goes deeper, a breath that relaxes you more and more, so that maybe you can imagine our breath reaching to the tips of your fingers and your toes. And as you find a level of breathing that is right for you now, maybe it's the same level of breathing as you've chosen before, when you've allowed yourself to relax. And allow yourself to concentrate on your right hand right now, so still and comfortable in that position right there. Become aware of how heavy or light it feels, or perhaps somewhere in between, whether it feels warm or cool, or somewhere in between, whether it feels perfectly still, or even the tiniest of movements in your right hand. Just experiencing that right hand right now. And of course, we've left out your left hand. Become aware of how your left hand feels right now. If it feels heavier or lighter, warmer or cooler, or identical. And as the hands of time have ticked past, all there is left for you to notice right now is your breathing, how it has become steadier, maybe slower, and you didn't even think about doing that consciously. It happened to guide your conscious mind to become aware of the sounds that you notice around you, so that with each new sound, or I wonder what else is happening unconsciously right now that you are consciously thinking about doing. Perhaps you are noticing the difference in frequency to which you've been swallowing. Maybe noticing a gentle fluttering in your eyelids, or the tiniest of jerky movements in and around your head and neck areas. All things that are happening unconsciously without your conscious mind having to think about doing right now. And in a moment, I'd like to ask your subconscious mind to take you as deep as you can go as I count from 10 to 1. Allowing for you to enter deep hypnosis on a number between 1 that I count, that your subconscious mind chose steps down the long staircase. As I count from 10 to 1, your subconscious mind will take you to the deepest point of relaxation that you can go. While I'm counting, each step would allow leading you down deeper into a beneficial state of hypnosis, leading down to the part of you that knows deep levels of relaxation. Finding the places in a moment where you begin walking down the steps of relaxation in a pace that is conductive with enhancing, altering your as well as mental relaxation. As you step down each step, you may count the steps to yourself, 1 at a time, exhaling as you take each step. Or you can just enjoy yourself, taking the steps of deeper relaxation as you listen to my voice, counting from 10 to 1. Now you are safe and protected, allowing each muscle and nerve in your body to relax, having any letting go, so calm, so deeply relaxed. 9. Relaxing mind and body together, wonderfully comfortable, each step taking you deeper. 8. Starting perhaps to notice that gentle connection between mind and body, letting go with each step. 7. Creating your own kind of heaven, breathing out whose track easily, steadily, so calm and at ease. You expect and begin to anticipate flowing through your body, letting go slowly, comfortably, calmly, way down. 5. And with each outward breath, saying the word calm to yourself, saying the word inwardly to yourself. 4. Feeling the feeling of calm flowing through and within you, permeating all around so that it feels like it is coming from deep inside. Calm, so tranquil. 3. So free to be gently and easily calm, so at peace. 2. Continue to relax and to let go, gently drifting down into peace and harmony of body and mind, deeper and deeper. 1. All the way down to a deeper, healthier level of mind. Now, imagine yourself in a large room, dimly lit by candles slowly burning as the room glows and gently flickers in a warm orange hue. Each step that you take echoes along the walls as you slowly walk to the center of the room. As you come closer to the center of the room, you see the most comfortable chair in front of you. You find in front of you the most comfortable chair that you've ever seen before. The perfect chair that you know would be just right for you. You know that the moment you sit in this chair, you'll sink right in, sinking right into deep relaxation. Imagine what it's made out of. Go ahead and choose what appeals for you. What do the legs look like? What is it made out of? Is it made from gold, wood, or something different altogether? How about the way it feels on your skin? Is it cold and silky, or warm and soft, or something in between? However you see or sense this chair to be, it's just right for you. When you are ready, go ahead and sit on the comfortable seat. Perhaps you've already find yourself sitting in it, and that's okay. And as you sit in the chair, you notice how wonderful it feels to sink right in. That's right. How your breath, and as you continue to sink into your slow, comfortable chair, rhythmically, it takes you deeper and deeper into a calm state of relaxation. And the calmer you feel, the more your eyes begin to get heavier and heavier. So heavy that you just allow yourself to close your eyes. In a moment or two, I would like to ask your unconscious mind to begin noticing the subtle sensations, energy
As you begin
in your
to
body,
notice
the subtle sensation in your body,
your
the area
unconscious
just
mind
below
recalls
your
the
navel.
diagram you saw immediately
Allow
before
for your
entering.
conscious mind to focus
The
right
energy
there
centers
on the
in
area
the
just
circuit
below
and
your
creating
navel.
from numbers 1
That's
through
right.
14 in the body.
The center between your hips, right below your navel, is a lower dantian.
You call the lower
How does it
dantian
feel?
1.
Does it feel tense or relaxed, or somewhere in between? Notice all the sensations that is radiating from your lower dantian. Perhaps even the most subtle of sensations. Does it feel tense or relaxed, or somewhere in between? Warm
Any
or
sensation
cool,
you feel is rise.
somewhere in between? Expansive or contracting, or somewhere in between? Maybe you may begin to notice a slight tingling sensation or a pulsing sensation.
As you take each breath,
The more you
each
focus
breath
on your
amplifies
lower
and
dantian,
magnifies
the
the
stronger
sensations
it
you
grows,
feel from your lower
the more
dantian.
it expands.
Perhaps
Feel
you may
the
notice
sensation of your
sounds
ki
as it spirals
flowing
around you
and spiraling.
lower dantian.
Be aware
Or you may
of the
notice
direction
that it has a
spiraling.
certain color.
Is it spiraling towards
You may
the
even
left,
find that you are
or
able
perhaps
to
to the
guide
right?
and move your ki,
Allow for
spinning
your
it
ki
right there,
to spiral
right now.
around in your lower
And as you
dantian.
begin to guide
And in a
move your
moment,
ki,
I'd like for you to
you do
take
not
your
have
hands
to go that
and
fast.
grasp your ki. Spin it in the direction that it is
Allowing
already
for the flow
spinning.
of your ki to be
Go ahead
smooth
and imagine it
effortless.
now. And as you spin it, notice that you're doubling
Feel
the
it
speed.
growing brighter
Feel
and
the
brighter
sensation
as you spin it
amplify
faster
and magnify
faster.
each time you spin it around. Go ahead and spin it again. That's right. And in a moment, I'd like for your unconscious mind to be aware of your sexual organs.
You give
Ovaries for
the
women,
sexual center
testicles
a
for
number.
men.
The sexual
This is the
center
sexual
is
center.
number 2.
And when I say now, guide and move the spiraling ki down to the sexual center,
creating a
feel your
strong
ki
and radiant
flowing and
between
coursing
number
down
1
to your sexual
and 2.
center, creating a strong and radiant link between your lower dantian and your sexual organs. And as you feel the ki from your lower dantian flowing down to your sexual organs, begin to become aware of the area down at the base of your groin.
The
This is
perineum.
called the perineum.
3. We will come back to
As
this
you
point.
guide your ki from
Step
the lower
5.
dantian down to the sexual center and down to the perineum, guide and allow for your ki to
I'd
continue
like for
flowing
your
down to
unconscious
your
mind
legs
to draw
and down
upon
all
the
the
memory
way
of the
to
time
the soles of
bare
your
feet.
feet.
Bare feet
This is
on
the
the
center
grass,
in which
or
you
on the
absorb
walls.
energy from the earth.
Remember
Earth
how
ki.
comforting and good
It is
the
such a
ground
nice
felt
feeling,
upon your
so
feet.
calm and relaxing, as
Allow
your
for
ki
that
flows
feeling
from your
to be
lower
felt
dantian
right now,
down to the
radiating
soles
and
of your
permeating
feet.
throughout your feet.
And when you are
towards
ready,
your whole body.
continue moving guiding your key, universal, drawing energy from the soles of your feet, slowly at first, 4, back up to your legs, 5, to the perineum, and this time be aware of the area just below the base of the spine, your sacrum center, the sacrum. You may feel, and as you guide your key to the base of your spine, the effects you may feel something, moving your key, perhaps a surge of energy or a tingling sensation you notice beginning to rise from the base of your spine. Energy center. You may feel a slight twitch in your body. That's okay. That area. Continue drawing up along the spine to the point opposite to your navel, the door of life, and up along the base of your skull, the jade pillow. 8. Continue drawing this energy up to the top of your head, the crown. Number 9. Now move this energy from the top of your head, the crown, down to the middle of your eyebrows, the third eye. 10. You may notice for a moment that as your key spirals and swirls, perhaps allow your key to gently soothe and massage your third eye, noticing that each time you exhale, the spiraling key grows stronger and faster. And as it spirals faster and stronger, it allows for more clarity of perception and thought, becoming brighter and brighter, allowing it to linger there for a moment or two. And as you guide your key to take its time to soothe and rejuvenate your third eye, I'd like for you to take notice of the tip of your tongue, and when you're ready, raise and touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. That's right. Touch and release. Again, touch and release. Good. Then lightly touch the roof of your mouth and gently leave it there, so still and comfortable. That's right. You may begin to notice, sense, and/or feel an electric or tingling feeling on the tip of your tongue. As you keep your tongue there, gently touching the roof of your mouth. And now, as you allow for your key to soothe and massage your third eye, guide your key from the third eye to the tip of your tongue, where it is meeting with the roof of your mouth. Continue moving your key down from the tips of your tongue, down to the middle of your throat, your throat center, opening, clearing, and energizing your throat center. Continue down from the throat center, 12, down towards your heart center, allowing it to swirl, energize your heart center. Continue guiding your circuit of ki just a little further right below your chest and just right above the stomach, your solar plexus, right in the center where it indents. That's right. Allowing the energy to spiral and radiate. You know that your ki works in wonderful ways, healing and rejuvenating your body, mind, and spirits. And as you allow for your ki to linger there, right there in the center, radiating and spiraling, Feel and sense there a small, bright, radiant sun shining out as you feel its warm, radiating, penetrating and pulsating all throughout your body. Your entire body becomes brighter and more vibrant. That's good. Now, when you are ready, bring your ki, your energy from the center of your chest, back down right below your navel, your lower dantian. That's right. Now that you have connected the circuit of flowing ki around your entire body, going through and passing through each sacred center, I'm going to help you open the pathways even more and allow for this energy to continuously flow like a river in circular motion without having to stop, in a continual flow of energy circulating throughout your body.
And allow for your unconscious mind to guide you through the previous points that you went through as your unconscious mind.
When you are ready,
again
from the lower dantian,
as you allow
down to the sexual center,
guide you
that's
through
right,
sacred point,
into the perineum,
13,
down the legs into the soles of your feet,
4,
back up to the perineum,
5,
then to the point below your spine, the sacrum,
6,
up along to the middle of your spine, the door of life,
7,
continuing up along the spine to the base of your skull,
8,
from the base of your skull up to the top of your head, the crown,
9,
down to the third eye, lightly touching the tip of your tongue to the plate of your mouth. Your energy moving from the third eye down to the tip of your tongue,
11,
down to the throat
12,
and to your heart,
13,
and just a little further to your solar plexus, and then down back to your lower dantian.
1,
From your lower dantian down to the sexual center,
2,
to the perineum,
3,
down to your leg, to the soles of your feet,
4,
then back again to the perineum,
5,
and then to the point below your spine,
6,
the sacrum, up along your spine to the
sun
midpoint
shines
of
bright
your spine,
and radiant,
the door of life,
permeating throughout your
continuing upwards to the base of your skull, up to the crown,
9,
and down to the third eye,
10,
moving the energy
touching
down
tip
from the
of your
third
tongue
eye
to your upper
to the tip of your tongue,
11,
down to the throat,
12,
and to the heart,
13,
down to the solar plexus,
14.
and back to your lower dantian.
Just imagine the
Again,
flow of ki
lower
cycling
dantian
around you,
to the sexual
cycling
center,
around through each
to the
center as you
perineum,
just know that it is
down to
passing
the legs, to the soles of your feet, back
Each
up
time becomes
towards
smoother
the perineum,
and smoother,
and towards
by
the
easy
sacrum,
flowing current of
up
energy,
along the spine to
rejuvenating
the base
and
of your
vitalizing
skull,
your entire
up
body.
towards the crown,
Just take it
and
slow
down
and
to your
nice,
third eye,
allowing for your ki to
the
permeate
tip
through
of your
every
tongue,
cell of your body, as
down
it
to
goes
your
along
throat,
the sacred
continuing
well.
down to the heart center, and to the solar plexus, and back to the lower dantian, to the sexual center, to the perineum, down to the legs, to the soles of your feet, back up towards the perineum and towards the sacrum, up along the spine to the base of your skull, up towards the crown and down to your third eye, to the tip of your tongue, down to your throat, continuing down to the heart center, and to the solar plexus, and back to the lower dantian.
Go ahead and take a moment to go around the cycle of 1 through 14 5 more times, just letting it easily and smoothly pass through each center without having to stop. Each cycle going rhythmically around. Now, first cycle. Second cycle. Third cycle. Fourth cycle. Fifth and final cycle. Now, the pathway of your ki is completely open, not needing to stop at each point. It is flowing continuously like a flowing river. Now, when you are ready, collect the energy at your lower dantian, allowing it to accumulate and grow, vibrant and powerful like the sun, getting ready to cover your navel with both palms. For men, left hand over the right, and for women, right hand over the left. Collect and mentally spin the energy stronger and stronger, faster and faster outwards from the navel, growing larger and larger. Continue spinning this energy more and more as I count from 1 to 36. 36
1
and 26
2 3
are
4
guidelines
5
to follow to
6
ensure
7
the success of this
9
ancient Taoist
10
practice.
11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36. Now spin it in the opposite direction as I count from 1 to 26. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. Feel the spiraling energy growing stronger and stronger, brighter and brighter. Now, take a deep breath in and exhale slowly, feeling the energy spiraling in your navel, coursing throughout your entire body like a flowing river of light. And as you bask and feel this amazing sensation of feeling so good and radiant, slightly raise the corners of your mouth and smile.
You've already noticed that you have been smiling.
And bring that smile down to your liver.
You've already heard about this practice.
Down to the stomach and
This
smile.
practice of your organs smiling.
Also, you take your time to thank your unconscious mind. You can either say thank you aloud or imagine yourself embracing your unconscious self as if it were a person or a creature. This is all part of nurturing a relationship with your unconscious self, a relationship with yourself. Now, you will remember all the steps which you took in the session. Even when you are awake,
entire body,
you will continuously and unconsciously,
maybe even while you are sleeping.
you will consciously and unconsciously remember how to recharge yourself through moving and guiding your ki from your dantian and through the 14 sacred centers which permeate all throughout your entire body, energizing you from head to toe.
Next time you
Now,
enter
as I
hypnosis,
count
it
from
will become
1 to
easier
5,
and
you
easier.
will awake feeling
better
refreshed
quality
and
of
energized,
as
keeping within
your
you
quality
all
of
that you've
hypnosis
learned and
becomes
felt,
better
benefiting
and
you
better.
every day,
Your state
in
of
every way for
relaxation
your highest
becomes
good,
deeper
whether
and
you are
deeper.
awake or sleeping.
And as your state of relaxation
Now,
becomes
when in a
deeper
moment,
and
when I
deeper,
count to 5,
this
you
exercise
have full
becomes
control,
easier
flexibility,
and
and
easier.
coordination throughout your entire body, from the
Your
tips of your
subconscious
toes
mind integrates
top of
new
your head,
learnings that is
to the
harmonious
tips of
for
your
your
fingers
body,
and
your
thumbs,
mind, and your
to your
spirit,
shoulders,
as it
and
illuminates you
feelings
from
of
within,
lightness and
radiating
or heaviness
outward,
return to the true
increasing and
correct
magnifying,
perspective,
getting better
putting back
and
all
better
bodily
forever,
sensations
as
as
long
they should
as
be.
you live.
1. Position yourself back from hypnosis, remembering and recalling what was left, right and above, and below you, remembering and recalling the features of this place. 2. All sounds are back to their correct perspective and back to their correct importance. 3. You're keeping and bringing with you all the wonderful benefits of this session, all the good things during the hypnosis session you incorporate and integrate into your life, all the intended benefits and desired outcomes of the session are surely sealed in as they are kept and integrated into your unconscious mind. 4, and finally, when I count to 5, you open your eyes fully refreshed and energized from the session and out of hypnosis. 5, eyes open, awake, feeling fully refreshed and energized.